Oh yeah, all black everything. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Tell a friend. All black everything. This is a spinoff, excuse me, of Learn with me / pick up a book. You know how we do it. Coming right back to the death of the West, Patrick L. Buchanan. Sharing information. That's all. Mm-hmm. We back at it. Like I said, like it, share it, subscribe. Really, I mean, we need those subscribers up. But we appreciate you for checking it out. We're just sharing information, letting you know something you may not know. So I've been in them books. It's good to pick up a book. Do it. Check it out one time for yourself. Don't take my word for nothing. It's all there. It's all information, and we just sharing it. It's nobody's knowledge. Nobody owns it. Can't monetize knowledge. Yeah. But we getting at it. I do not own the rights to this music. Shout out to the Kings, Rule the Hustler. Those who know, they know. We're getting back in it though. Mm-hmm. Right where we left off, we was in the third chapter, Catechisms of a Revolution. Hey, only human, here we go. And it says, how crucial is the conviction to our new cultural establishment? In 1994, the Cultural War came to Lake County, Florida, when the school board voted 3-2 to require that children be taught that America's heritage and culture were superior to other foreign or historic cultures, end quote. Board chair Pat Hart, a self-described patriot and a Christian, said the idea was adopted in response to Florida's multicultural education policy. It is fine, said Ms. Hart, for students to learn about other nations and cultures, but they should be taught that America is unquestionably superior. A stunned teachers union called the proposal gymnastic, jiggonastic. Yep, jiggonastic. Okay, that's a new one for me. Jiggonastic. Okay, people don't understand the purpose of this and the point of this. Keith Mullins of People and for Mainstream Values told the New York Times. Nonsense. The blazing controversy that ensued showed that the people knew exactly what the purpose and the point were. School board members Judy Pearson made it very clear. We need to reinforce what we should be teaching America first. Otherwise, said Ms. Pearson, young people, if they felt our land was inferior or equal to others, would have no motivation to go to war and defend our society. End quote. One dissenter charged the school board majority with the undermining of our school system. The Associated Press reported some teachers and parents say what's really being taught is bigotry. The spokesman for the National School Board Association, Jay Butler, warned that values in education is something that we hear more about with the rise of the religious right wing. The local teachers union president, Gail Burry, accused the board of violating the First Amendment. The board's majority wants to start from a conclusion that America is superior to all other nations and then work backwards from it. That's not education. That's indoctrination. Say it again. They want to teach that America is superior to all other nations and then work backwards from it. That is not education, that is indoctrination. Learn the difference. They're two different words for a reason. But isn't starting from the conclusion that America is simply equal to other nations also indoctrination? At the heart of the dispute is Pilates' question. What is truth? To the revolution, Lake County was contradicting the truth, i.e., all cultures are equal, none is superior. By claiming America's culture was superior, Miss Hart's board had committed heresy. The revolution could not permit open defiance of a core dogma to be taught as truth to children in Lake County. So when it went to battle stations, in the fall election, in a huge turnout, all supporters of the America First policy were defeated. The people turned out the extremists, said Mr. Mullins. The episode exposes the true character of our new dominant culture, about its core beliefs. It is deeply intolerant and will not abide challenge or contradiction. Anyone who would teach children that America's culture is superior is an extremist teaching a lie who has no business in the public schools of the new America. As equality is its core principle, the Cultural Revolution teaches that the real heroes of history are not the conquerors, soldiers, or the statesmen who built the Western nations and created the great empires, but those who have advanced, who have advanced the higher cause, the equality of peoples. The equality of peoples. Thus, the end of segregation in the South and the apartheid end of apartheid in South Africa are triumphs greater than the defeat of communism. And Mandela and Gandhi are the true moral heroes of the 20th century. Thus, Martin Luther King stands tallest in the American pantheon, and states in any state that refuses to set aside a holiday to celebrate his birthday is to be boycotted. Hmm. As for George Washington, if his name is removed from the schools, so be it. Hey, I second it. Hey, ain't no sweat off mine. What he, was he not an owner of slaves? Did he not participate in America's most egregious violation of human equality? As equality is a first principle, one person, one vote democracy is the highest form of government and the only true legitimate form. It only, it alone may be imposed by force, as it was upon Germany and Japan, and should have been upon Iraq. Military intervention for national interest is selfish and ignoble, but moral intervention that sheds blood in the cause of democracy, as in Somalia, Haiti, and in the Balkans, nothing is more pure. See the contradiction? Contradictions, dickheads. By the by this standard, the revolution judges the morality of America's wars. The War of 1812, the Mexican American War, the Indian Wars, and the Spanish American War may have secured a continent at any tiny cost in lives, but these wars are forever sullied by the annex, annexationists and the chauvinist spirit of America that fought them. And though Korea and Vietnam were fought to save small nations from murderous Asian communism, they were unwise or unjust wars. For we were allied with corrupt regimes and fought to keep those countries in our camp in a Cold War that never had the moral clarity of the war against fascism. See how they do that? Tell you one thing and do another. That's that magic trick. President Nixon's support for General Pinochet's overthrow of the Castro right Salvador Allende in Chile was an outrage. So too was Ronald Reagan's assistance in the Nicaraguan Contras fighting to recapture their country from the pro-Soviet Sandinistas. As for Reagan's invasion of Grenada, how we want to say it, to rescue that tiny island from the Stalinist thugs who murdered its Marxist ruler, Maurice Bishop, that was America's aggression. That was American aggression. But Clinton's invasion of Haiti to restore to power the Marxists defrock priest, Father Aristide. That was intervention on behalf of democracy and fully justified. And so long as it is a good war, the end justifies the names of the catechisms of the revolution. That Mr. Lincoln made himself an absolute dictator, trampled on the Constitution, imprisoned descendants without trial, and unleashed General Sherman and Sheridan to burn the South to ashes was fine. The eradication of slavery justified the means employed, even if fellow Americans suffered terribly. As for the good war, World War II, allying ourselves with the mass murdering Stalin and firebombing cities like Nagasaki, killing scores of thousands of women and children in hours, were acceptable because our hearts were pure and our enemy was evil. Mm, The justification is ridiculous. Richard Nixon is denounced for the murder bombing of Hanoi to free our POWs, bombing that North Vietnam said killed 1,900 people over 13 days. Yet, Harry Truman is forever a hero, though he ordered the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing 140,000 civilians and sent 2 million Russian prisoners of war back to be tortured and murdered by Stalin in Operation Keyhole. Some hell of a president you have. Wonderful. We're gonna keep going. For the Cultural Revolution, the enemy is right, is always on the right. And the revolution does not forgive or forget. Compare the remorseless pursuit to his grave of General Pinochet, the dictator who crushed Castroism in Chile, with the expression of sorrow at the deaths of Mao's partners in murder, Chao En-lai and Deng Xiaoping. Byron de la Beckwith, charged with assassinating NAACP leader Medgar Evers in Mississippi in 1963, is tried, retried, and tried for a third time. 30 years later, he dies in prison. As the revolution demands, even as it pleads for clemency for Leonard Peltier, who murdered 2 FBI agents after a 1975 shootout on Pine Ridge Reservation. The latest cultural icon is Mumia Abu Jamal, who is on death row for murdering a policeman in Philadelphia in 1981 by emptying his gun into the wounded officer who lay bleeding. 100 academic historians have urged that Mumia be given a new trial and that the killing of that policeman be viewed in the light of history. As Pelter in the Indian, as Pelter in an Indian, as Pelter is an Indian and Mumia is black. They qualify as members of a victim class, but 2 dead FBI agents, a dead cop, 3 white males do not. I think we're going to end it right there and we're going to come right back. This is an edition of the spinoff of Learn With Me / Pick Up a Book right here on All Black Everything. Check us out. Continue to like it, subscribe it, share it, like it, subscribe it. Put that thumbs up on it for me. For us. Appreciate you checking it out. We're coming right back. Death of the West. This is what's going on, man. Gotta understand where we at. That's that joint right there. All black everything. Peace, love, black love. Get it. Muck man. Hey.